Hello everyone, how's it going? Back for another Nerd in Texoma video. Today I'm going to be showing y'all a figure that I just recently gotten. It is the knockoff of the Generation 1 Mirage figure, but he's in a clear black plastic. So hang around and y'all will get to check him out. Alright everyone, here he is with all of the items that he comes with. Like I said, this is a knockoff of the official original Generation 1 character. These are some high quality knockoffs that started popping up, I'd say within the past 10 to 15 years. They've made reproductions of many famous characters in the Transformer franchise from Generation 1, most notably like Optimus Prime. You've got Mirage, I believe the Insecticons, Cyclonus, lots of figures. And what they do, I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but if they scan in like the original box art or something like that, but they recreate the original packaging as faithfully as they can. Every once in a while, I don't know if this is intentional so you can easily tell the difference between a knockoff, or if it's unintentional. They do include some defects in the packaging, like sometimes the instead of where it's got the two dots where it says ages there, it'll have one dot, or the instead of saying Autobot Spy, it'll say Autopot Spy or something like that, something small, so the difference can be told pretty quickly and easily. Once you start getting into like the accessories, the missiles here, the rocket launcher, missiles, the handgun and all that, that's when it's a little bit harder to tell what's official and what's knockoff when they're loose. There are still some tells, but it gets very, very difficult. These include reproductions of the original stickers or decals, whatever you'd like to call them. Let's see if I can get that out of the shadow a little bit better. I apologize for bad lighting. It's not the best in here. It does include the reproduction of the original instructions on how to transform the figure. And I mean, these are pretty much spot on copies. I never actually had a Mirage brand new out of the package as a kid, so I can't tell you if this is exactly true to the original copy, but if it's anything like the Optimus Prime one, it is. Every once in a while, I've seen people that have gotten these knockoffs that say that the original is a lot sharper quality, that sometimes these are a little bit fuzzier, like a copy machine type copy, but they're still printed on the slick paper like the original. So, but then here is the figure himself, and he's hard to see sometimes on the lighting. I tried to choose a brighter background, so maybe he'll stand out a little bit more, but as you can see, he is like a clear black or clear gray plastic. of course, except for where the chromed bits are. One difference between this knockoff and an original Mirage, because there was never a release of him in this clear black plastic, is that number 26 and the elf logo that you see right there on the front of the car, on the original, those are actually stickers. On this knockoff, they're actually, was it tampographed or painted on the figure, along with his wording on the side there. Again, the original, that's a sticker. The knockoff here, they've actually got it printed on the figure, which I think is pretty dang cool. Alright, give me a sec, and I will get him transformed into robot mode so y'all can see him that way. Alright, welcome back everybody. Here is that knockoff Mirage in robot mode. As you can see, he's all clear, aside from his, chromed parts where he's, that's his engine, his spoiler, the front spoiler, the underside of the car there. He does have rubber tires, which was a feature of many of the original Transformers figures. I believe around 86 or so is when they started transitioning to the cheaper plastic tires, but these reproductions of the original ones from the 84 and 85 lines, they do include the actual rubber tires. As you can see, he's got his rocket launcher there. Again, since these are knockoffs, they're not perfect. They are a great stand-in if you can't afford or can't find the original official figure. They also are a great opportunity to get variants that never existed before. One of Mirage's traits that he could do in the original Transformer series is that he could turn himself invisible and infiltrate the enemy camp and all that. And this, I think, is a great representation of the figure's ability, or the character's ability to do that by being clear. One of the issues that I have had, and I'm not sure if it's just with my copy or if it is with all of them, these shoulder missiles that go into his rocket launcher here. This one is the only one I've ever been able to get to fit in the rocket launcher. I'm not sure if the post is too big or misshapen, if there's something wrong internally in the rocket launcher. Like I said, that is the only one I've ever been able to get fit in there. It's not that big of a deal for me, because with these knockoffs, generally I display them in the box in their packaged form because I think they look cool that way. One of the other problems that this figure has, and again, I'm not sure if it's my copy or if it is an issue with all of them, is right here at the shoulder. That's supposed to swivel back and forth. He's supposed to be able to pick his arm up, and for whatever reason, this just will not come up. It will not swivel up. Again, I'm not sure if that is an issue with my copy of this figure, or if it is an issue with these knockoffs. Personally, again, since I'm planning on displaying him in the box, it's not that big a deal to me. you know, every once in a while I'll take him out, transform him, have a little fun, then he goes back in the box. He does have the elbow articulation there. He does have, it's hard to see with one hand, but he does have the little wrist swivel. G1 figures at the time were engineering marvels, but they're looked back on now as pretty much bricks because they didn't have all of the modern articulation that current figures do. This one, with his shoulder limitation, is a little bit more of a brick. As far as the overall quality of this knockoff, I mean, it's hard to get the camera to focus, but you'll see the face there, the sculpting is great. I think the paintwork is pretty darn good. Again, it's kind of hard to get a good focus on it, but you know, the painted logos are nice. The ones on his side there. Oh yeah, there's a little like hairline scratch or something in the C on the paint that you can see right there. You know, but overall, I think it's pretty darn cool. Alright, let me get him transformed back and put back in the box for my final thoughts. Alright everybody, here is that Mirage back in his box. On some of the later reissue figures, since they're copying the original figure in their packaging, they went to this blister that they seal on the card inside the box. I'm not too much of a fan of that because it is difficult to not damage the blister too much if you plan on taking the figure out, playing with it for a little while, and then putting it back in the box for display. I prefer what they did with the very, very original figures, which was put them in a styrofoam insert inside the box. That doesn't happen all the time. Again, you know, the knockoff manufacturers are pretty much trying to stay as true to the original as possible. So some of the later ones do have that blister. But if you're careful about it, you can open it up, take the figure out, put it back in the box, and it'll still look good on the shelf. There is the bottom of the packaging. Now, of course, since the clear black was never an official release, there is no packaging artwork for that. So they just use the actual figure and what it looks like on the box art. So the actual Mirage figure is a blue and white Formula One racing car like that. And we'll get the top of the packaging here where it shows the very quick, simplified transformation. As for my final thoughts on these, again, I'm a collector. I collect a lot of oddball stuff like this, if you haven't figured out already by watching other videos I've made. You know, I think these variants are interesting. They're pretty cool. You know, and staying with sometimes what the character's abilities are that were never explored in figure form. As far as I know, there are 5 different variations of the knockoff reissue Mirage. There is, of course, the one who is true to form, the blue and white race car. There is one that is based off of the original Diaclone of this figure, and Diaclone, for those of you who don't know, was the line that these toys were produced in Japan before they became Transformers. And for the Diaclone version of this figure, he was released in a red and white race car. So there's that variation. Then there is the red and white variation, so it'd be red with the white, but what they did is all the parts where he's the silver chrome, they changed it to gold chrome on this particular knockoff. Then, of course, there is the clear black one that I have, and the one that I've heard is the most difficult to find is they did a completely clear version where he's not the black or gray. I mean, it is completely clear plastic, and that is, from what I understand, the hardest version of this knockoff to find. This is my only version right now. I plan on in the future trying to get the gold, the red gold version, possibly the original version, you know, the blue and white. But like I said, I just collect oddball, weird things like this, and I just had to get this figure. I hope y'all enjoyed checking it out with me. If you have any questions, comments, ideas for future videos, please put them in the comments below. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time for another episode of Nerd in Texoma. Bye.